Hey guys, it's WolfMaiden, and today I'm going to be talking about the songbook that I'm working on for the LARPs that I'll be going to, specifically catered toward medieval fantasy. So if there's ever another genre of LARP, this book won't work for that, but then I can always make a new book. But I decided to make this because I often forget the lyrics to songs, and so I was like, well, I can have lyrics to the songs and I can show them to other people and we can learn to sing together, and that'll be super fun. So this is the book that I'm going to be using to make the songbook. I have showed this book before if you saw my calligraphy video a long time ago, but I got this off Amazon. It's super beautiful. It has golden edged pages and it's just really pretty. It's got this beautiful, beautiful view, deer and birds, and this gold leafing on the edges of it. I love it. The interior also on the back and the front has these gold pages, and it even has a little bookmark if I want to quickly flip to a song that I particularly like. So I'm going to be writing in calligraphy the titles and then writing the rest of the song in pencil, just in case I make any mistakes. And you'll see me write the calligraphy part of it. If there's any suggestions for songs for a medieval fantasy setting, please feel free to comment down below. I would love to find new songs. I'm actively searching for them. The book is not going to be full when I'm done with it. I'm gonna have about 10 or 11 songs in there when I am done with this video. So I hope you guys enjoy, and without further ado, here's the start of my medieval calligraphy songbook. So I started off with making a table of contents, and I made the mistake of putting pencil before I put the title down. I didn't do this again because it caused a huge problem where you could see the pencil marks, and if I tried to erase it, it would smudge all the ink. So I had to live with this, but the rest, I swear, doesn't look this bad. Although I did make a few other mistakes in the songbook too. But if you make your own songbook and you're doing calligraphy as well, learn from my mistakes. The other times that I ended up making mistakes were because I wasn't paying as much attention as I should have, because since I didn't have pencil to just kind of trace over, because you can't really do that, then I had to pay attention to the letters that I was putting down. And when I decided to listen to something or I was talking with people while I worked, I made mistakes. So concentration, that's what I recommend. So I started off with Wolven Storm because it's just such a beautiful song, and I don't know the lyrics by heart. I'm still pretty much a beginner at medieval calligraphy in Carolingian minuscule, which is my chosen medieval calligraphy script that I like. And I do change the S for a more modern lettering. It's really kind of not medieval at all. But I chose it because of its readability, because in song list it looks like an F, and it's not an F, but I decided to leave it in song list because you can kind of understand it just by context, but I can't assume the same thing with everything else, and figured for readability's sake that I would just make it an S. The next song that I chose was Toss a Coin to Your Witcher. I have heard this only in the context of other people singing it. And then I eventually looked up the one that was on the Witcher series and found that I really dug the vibe of it. So I decided to add it to the songbook. I underestimated how many words there were going to be and how large my lettering had to be, so this one got a little bit smushed, but it was a 2-page spread because there were so many lyrics, and so I did lettering on it twice. Long have yearned for your tender caress. Because of the lyrics, this might not be the best song to sing in a medieval fantasy setting, especially if elves are friendly, because of what they say about them. And of course, if it's not a Witcher game and you don't want to encroach on the game's immersion by singing a song from a different franchise that very clearly has elements to it that don't exist. But if you amend certain things or change certain names of stuff or cut out verses, I did a combination of that for a variety of different songs, then it helps change things enough that it becomes acceptable. So that's my tip on sort of using songs from different franchises or different series or things that wouldn't normally fit in your LARP setting. Instead of having to make a whole new song, just sort of change them so that they work enough. Obviously, making your own songs is great, and that can be even better than ones that people already know or have attachments to or relate to the real world for them. But yeah. My dream come the morning, your scent I did a couple of 2-page spreads on songs with lyrics that were long and they couldn't be condensed by having the chorus written once and then putting in when the chorus is sung. Toss a coin to your witcher happened to be one of them. And it is also one that I will likely have to change some of the verses to suit my local LARP. We've been bound. The wish I whispered when it all began. Did it forge a love you might never have found? You flee, my dream come the morning. Your scent, berries tart, lilac sweet. To dream of raven locks and twisted, stormy, of violet eyes glistening as you weep. The lettering for Toss a Coin to Your Witcher ended up turning out pretty good. The next song that I added to the songbook was My Mother Told Me, which was the sort of Viking song. This one I learned at Beakeline, and I really enjoyed singing it with other people and kind of harmonizing, and I found that other people that knew the song while I was at my local LARP, and I was like, well, I need to write this down so more people can sing it, and so that's what I did. This one is another song that has sort of a repetitive scheme to it, and so it's not hard to learn once you learn the lyrics, but it can be a bit tricky trying to get it all at the beginning, and so writing it down and showing it to people is what I plan to do if they want to learn. And here was one of my first very kind of glaring mistakes on the song The Earth, the Air, the Fire, the Water. I learned this one also at Beakeline during the lead up to the Fae ceremony, and this is an easy one to teach because it repeats over and over again until you stop. And it also works as a good sort of religious chant or something like that. You can sing it faster or slower, and it's just really versatile and, like I said, easy to teach. This is one of two that I remember pretty easily just because there aren't that many lyrics and it's something that could get stuck in your head pretty easily. I started the songbook thinking that it wasn't going to take very long, but of course, especially when you're writing out the lyrics, but calligraphy takes forever as well. I sort of was like, oh, it's gonna take me, maybe like a whole night or something. But no, over the course of a few days, I was working on this and I had to pick songs by listening to them. I had to learn new songs and then I wrote them all in here, all in my songbook. So yeah, really underestimated the time frame for this. I had fun nonetheless, and it's very useful. I've used it already. My boyfriend often jokes about the fact that I didn't learn sea shanties during COVID, but I did learn this one at Beakeline in the Ordo Tavern, and I really enjoyed it. Row Me Bully Boys. So that's the next song in the songbook that I wrote down. A lot of the sea shanties became some of my favorites to sing because it was easy for people to sing along with because that's sort of what they're designed to do, and it's really fun to sing in crowds, to have a lot of people singing all together where you almost can't distinguish each other's voices from each other, and I absolutely adore that. I love that. This also happens to be another song title that I butchered because I wasn't paying attention. And this one's really sad. I was doing a U instead of an O, and I was devastated when this happened. So it sort of looked like a bully boys. At this point, it was getting close to the LARP event that I was going to use the songbook at, and so I prioritized writing the lyrics down first. But this song is called Roll the Old Chariot Along. I could only fit Roll the Old Chariot, so that's what's on the title. But it's Roll the Old Chariot Along. It's a sea shanty as well. This one we sang while we were marching to battle at Beagling, so it was very memorable for me and I enjoyed it a lot. I did really work by fake firelight, and it was super fun to do that too because it's kind of cool to see the flames flickering on the page as you're writing. Kind of gets you in the mood for medieval fantasy. So I encourage you to kind of immerse yourself in writing your songbook if you decide to make one. Of course, use another light so you don't strain your eyes, but also, maybe light a candle, maybe use a lantern, whatever you feel like, to get you really excited for your event, even if it is the 100th time you've been to it. So for the Drunken Sailor song, I absolutely forgot to press play. I thought I did on my phone, and I didn't, so here is the finished lettering of that. Then the next song, also a sea shanty, is Lever Johnny, which crowd favorite for sure. It's one of the better songs to sing with others just because everybody's putting their emotion behind it, and it's super fun to listen to all the different voices and all the different tones and everything singing it all together. This is one of the rare sea shanties that I actually knew already, and that's really basically thanks to Assassin's Creed Black Flag, which I remember very fondly being a really great kind of ship and pirate game. The next one is another sea shanty, and it's Wellerman, which I was made aware of by my boyfriend because he likes this song. So I made sure to get this one down in the songbook. This one was also a 2-page spread, so I got to letter this twice. This was a very, very clean lettering. I was very excited about this. So this song, I still have difficulty with how to sing it, just because of how it starts and its speed, but I really like it because I'm playing a character that I think would have sung this or would have known this from where she was born. The song is called Oak and Ash and Thorn. Some of the lyrics need mending, like they mention England by name, and I think I just put land and decided I would drag it out a little bit to fill the spot for England, so it'd be land or something like that. But I'm still workshopping the lyrics to work for the LARP that I go to. The title was definitely a squeeze, but I made it fit all in there, and I think it looks pretty decent. So this was a song that I took from the Bard Discord for our LARP. I'm calling it Oh Ferryman, but Oh Death was the song name that it came from. Just mended for the game's ideas of death and things like that. And then I sort of bluesied it a little bit. I don't know how else to put it, but like I changed it because it was for a choir. I changed the way that it was sung to suit my voice, and it works as a duet as well. You also see my bunny ring that I subsequently lost the day of the game, so I was dressed and ready to go to the LARP the morning that I wrote this down. My poor little bunny ring. I wore it literally this one time and then lost it during game, so I'm sad about that, but oh well. So now here is the finished book. I'm gonna go through all the pages. This is the song list. Once it was cleaned up a bit, it looked a lot neater. Then Wolven Storm was the other one. I experimented with some of the pencil words in ink because it turned out not to be very good. But besides the 2 mistakes that I made, I'm very happy with how this turned out. And I'm really excited to put in more songs. So please feel free to suggest any down in the comments below, like I said earlier. And that's how the first part of my calligraphy songbook turned out. And here's a couple of pictures of me at the LARP actually using the book, where I sang with one of my friends. And that's the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed the look that you got into my songbook. And tell me if you make your own, what songs you put, or what songs that you currently use at your LARPs, whether it's medieval fantasy or not. Thank you guys for watching. I hope to see you guys in the next video. And as always, take care.